Well, I went to the Westgate School and I left when I was 16. I got myself a part-time job at a pub and went to college. I felt there wasn't my learning style, it was too textbook based, whereas I'm more of a physical learner. I'd rather actually do something than read a textbook about it. So I left college after a couple of months and started working as a freelance web developer to get some more background into the industry and learn how to do websites properly. I had to go to the Apprenticeship to Business website to work on one of my websites. And that's where I found out about the apprenticeship at the corner of my eye. I saw the word web design. So I looked at it, clicked on it, saw it was in Winchester, carried on reading. I really liked what I saw, so I clicked the apply button, applied online, and a couple of weeks later I had an interview with Tim.
Well, as an agency, we do a lot of recruitment through designers getting in touch with us directly. We harvest a lot of CVs, but a couple of years ago I wanted to try and find a more effective way of getting young people into the business. I was a little bit disengaged with the traditional route of going to find a graduate because I didn't relate to the attitudes that graduates were coming to interviews with. So I attended a speech by Apprentices for Business, and I thought that the opportunity that they were giving young people through the new apprenticeship schemes sounded very interesting, and I thought that maybe the apprentices would be a little bit more motivated to show the employer dedication and willingness to be in the business than some of the experiences I was having with graduates at the time.
When I was looking at the apprenticeship, I didn't really think that you could get an apprenticeship in web design. I thought it was more of a physical thing as opposed to a technological thing. I thought it was mostly plumbers and electricians, those kind of jobs. So I was quite surprised to see a web design apprenticeship, and I thought it could be a good way for me to start my career in web design.
As most employers will relate to, one of the hardest things about recruiting people is that recruitment process, finding the candidates, interviewing them and involving them in the business and bringing them up to speed. One of the great points about the Apprentice for Business approach was that they took away the headache. I gave them the requirement of the job the same way as if I was writing a job advert for the newspaper. They interpreted that, they went to market for applicants, and then they presented me with a short list of the best 5 or 6 candidates.
I came here for an interview with Apprenticeship to Business. It wasn't really an interview, such just general chat about what A4B do and how they would help me find an apprenticeship. And then the next interview was with Tim. And then I did a couple of days in the studio as a trial, and then I got offered the job.
It softens the blow of taking someone on who's young. You don't necessarily have to be their employer. You can go through a proxy like Apprentices for Business. You pay the intermediary. They have all the employment headache of looking after the payroll, the tax, the NI, etc. for that apprentice. You also know that if it doesn't work out, or if your business doesn't quite perform as you hoped it would with that new person on board and you can't afford them any longer, you can release them back to the apprenticeship company and they will actively seek out other opportunities for that apprentice in another company. So it really makes the whole kind of commitment side of employing someone young and new for the first time a lot easier. And of course, when the person's in the business for a while, and if you do like them, you can keep them on the apprenticeship for 1, 2, 3 or 4 years. It's what works for you as a business, that's the important thing.